Hi guys, how are you doing? This is Becky Miller. I need to find someplace where you can kind of see me at. I just might be out of luck here. Maybe I gotta move a little. That's about as best as I can get it. Well guys, how are you doing today? Today I didn't actually get bad news today. I had gotten my bad news on May 16th. Oh goodness. Well, I guess I have to just do it. Wait a minute, there was some light right there. Okay, May 16th, I went and I had a hearing test done. And during this hearing test, my left ear is completely deaf. And I didn't know it because I had already this tinnitus or ringing in your ear. It's not even a ringing. I don't hear tunes. It's just a constant hum. So it's like it sounds like a white noise, and it's steady. It goes across, and I've just learned to deal with it over the years. He had tried to ask me, how long have I been living that way, or how long have I noticed it? To tell you the truth, I don't remember, because once it started, I just adjusted things. Like if there's anybody that's driving the car and I'm in the passenger seat, well, it's a plus for me because I always made a big joke that I would just tune them out. I didn't hear them, and that was true to a point. But it was like some of the stuff I would hear in my right ear would be coming from the left side, but I didn't know the direction. So it would bother as far as knowing directions of where sounds are coming from. I couldn't determine that. So I think that's what the hearing doctor was saying. It's called a unilateral or something, where all of your hearing is on one side. And so if there's anything that's on the left side, I hear it to the right, but I turn that direction because I think that's where it's coming from. So the same day that happened, and so it was like I bypassed. Hearing aid wasn't going to work. He told me I could have a cross, but a cross, it's like not hearing aids, but you have to wear two of them. It's like a microphone, and it transfers to this side to another speaker, and to go into one ear. So it's still unilateral, but hearing in one ear, so you still have the same problem of not knowing the direction that your sound is coming from. He had went ahead, called an ENT, got me in that day. I went to go see her, and so I can't read what a hearing doctor can read, and she didn't even do anything on me. She didn't look at my ears. She didn't do nothing. She just went ahead and made a referral to go get an MRI done with contrast and without contrast. And what she explained to me that the hearing test had basically said is that I was completely deaf in one ear, and my right ear was declining quite quickly from the graph they had. So she had given, well, she didn't give, but she just said between 3 and 8 years I would be completely deaf on the right side. And she said within 3 years to go back to the hearing doctor and about getting a hearing aid for that side. Meanwhile, on this side here, the left side, she said I was a candidate to get a Cochlear. I think that's how you say it. I could be saying it wrong. It's where it's a hearing aid, and half of it is under your skin, between your skull and the skin. Now, needless to say, this is all happening on the 16th. So just going to the hearing doctor the first time, and I get out of there, and he starts to explain it to me. I'm still stuck at what? I'm deaf in one ear. I mean, completely deaf. At least I thought, well, I given into the fact that I guess I'm going to need a hearing aid because I can't hear. I never thought that I would be completely deaf in that ear and not be able to hear. And with the right side, he did also tell me about how it's declining in hearing. I was married, and during this marriage, I had gotten really sick. In June of 16, I went into the hospital 2 times for pneumonia. The first time I was there for 4 days, the second time I was there for 11 days, and that was 2 weeks apart. So my immune system had crashed really, really bad, was compromised really bad. I had no idea why. Then 2 weeks after that, I had gotten reactive arthritis. Then soon after the reactive arthritis, I started to get the iritis in both eyes. I was being treated for pink eye, and the stuff they were giving me wasn't working. Meanwhile, with reactive arthritis, they couldn't figure that why this was happening. So I had went for about 18 months of weekly blood draws. I mean, the most I had in a day, they would take 23 tubes away from me, and that was like the limit, because if they take too much pint of blood, too much blood from you, that's actually dangerous for you. I had found out that with the reactive arthritis, when that had happened, there's only 2 ways that you can get it: by food poisoning or by a STD, which is a sexually transmitted disease. Now, reactive arthritis, they also call it RA, which is not rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is DNA, it comes from your family. Reactive arthritis is exactly that. It's inflammation, and it's either you contract it from an STD, which is gonorrhea, or food poisoning. Now, at the time I was married, and I knew it wasn't food poisoning because my other half did not get sick. At the time that this had inflamed, I was actually sitting in the hospital in a waiting room because he's getting operated on for a broken arm. The symptoms that it takes for the RA to take effect is exactly 14 days for these symptoms to show up. So that led me to believe that, well, there was something going on, but I did not want to see it. The reactive arthritis also plays into this. And after 18 months, come to find out with all of the tests, they did an allergy test, they did every kind of blood test they could think of, stupid things like for a cat scratch. I came up being positive with a gene called HLA-B27. Now, the HLA-B27 doesn't even run in my family. Nobody has it. So I am like a walking plain slate, meaning that anything that shall happen to me is not my family related. It's not not in my medical background. There's nobody that I know of on my mother's side, father's side, either grandparents' side that even wore a hearing aid. Nobody that I had arthritis except regular with age related. Nobody had RA. Nobody had rheumatoid arthritis. I've had pneumonia now 4 times out of my lifetime, and 2 of them happened in the same month. After that happened, I had, for the 18 months afterwards, after getting treated, I was walking around with the mycoplasma, which is walking pneumonia. So needless to say, when I was even in school and getting your sex education, nobody tells you that later on in life, if you make wrong choices, that what the after long-term effect is. So getting gonorrhea doesn't mean that you take medicine and you're just fine and clear, because evidently down the road it can stem other things. Now, it was very sad that I just happened to be supposedly married and this had happened to somebody that you're supposed to trust, and that wasn't true. So today was, I had an MRI today with the contrast and without contrast. Now, what they do with those, they're going to send them to the ENT that referred me to the radiology to get this done, to find out if I have a tumor on, it's the, not my ear, it's the nerves of my ear that go to my brain. Because either way that I'm looking at right now is, I'm going to have surgery. I'm going to have surgery to have an implant so I can hear in my left ear, or I'm going to have surgery if there is a tumor there to remove the tumor. Now, I can't say that, well, you know, we've never had tumors in my family, it was never a problem, because I've been told so many times by different doctors that that actually doesn't even matter anymore. So when they ask questions about my family history, they really could care less, because what I have now, if it decides it wants to give me whatever it wants, I can get it at any time. So that's it about this, and that's as far as I've gotten. And any other, like the next step that I'll get, I will do another video. I wanted to make a video because I know there are other people out there that probably have gotten the same thing, or being diagnosed with the same thing, or have a problem with hearing. I was told from the doctor that did my hearing test, let's say if something does happen to you as far as where you have ringing in your ear, like a trauma or an accident, or, you know, loud music or something like that, and you get ringing in your ear, what they told me was that you have a 48-hour window to call an ENT. They will give you steroids to get that hearing back. Once you pass that window, your hearing is gone. And I cannot pinpoint when this had happened. I don't know if this had started when everything else had started, and that would be in June of 16. And it's just been it seems like a one issue after another. I do overcome it, but this is just the beginning of it, and it's going to continue from what I'm being told, and it can just decide on its own what it wants to do, when it wants to do it. And it's very upsetting to me that when I go to a doctor, that's the first thing that I tell them is I have this gene, and it's an HLA-B27. I'm HLA-B27 positive. Do you know what that is? No. I get a no. They don't know what that is. I don't understand why doctors go to school and they are not taught on a gene that affects your immune system, because I have a low immune system. And I had the low immune system when all of this happened. How this gene came about, I never got a clear answer. I never got a clear answer, except for that I had the pneumonia twice, and then soon after, all of these other things kicked in at the same time. And I don't know if because I don't know. I don't know if it because it was too much on my immune system and it broke that, and I don't know how that happened, because it's nobody else in my family has this. They're not HLA-B27, and it's confusing, it's aggravating, it's upsetting, Because I could be here right now today talking to you, and then when I go to talk to my doctor, all of a sudden I could be finding out that yes, I have a freaking brain tumor. Where would that come? I'd be like, where would that come from? I can't call anybody. I can't call my family. They don't understand. They don't get it. They'll just tell me, well, nobody in my family has it. I don't know where that came from. And it all just boils down to making a wrong decision. I really think that if I would not have gotten married when I did to the person that I did, that a lot of these health issues would have been avoided. Because I do believe that it came from making a bad choice. Not me making a bad choice. It was a bad choice that they had made, and they refused to get their self fixed or checked out or whatever you want to call it, because it's a male and that's their ego. They're not going to go try to find out if something is wrong. And with this person, I think he has skeletons in his own closet that he needs to face and deal with on his own. And I'm stuck, something for the rest of my life that I have to deal with. It always pulls me back to a time that I don't want to remember, which that's my bad choice. So I'm going to end this video now. So my name is Becky Miller, and I just wanted to get on here to talk about where I'm at, what I'm experiencing right now. I do have a separate channel, and this channel is more or less of a this and that. Me and my kids use it for just this and that, so it's not a certain channel for any direction. And I hope this video does help somebody out there, and that you're not alone, and that, any advice from anybody that maybe if they are in the state that I am, or the stage, I wouldn't say state, the stage, I am really nervous. I am really upset. Actually, on the 16th, which was last Tuesday, I was really upset when I got the news. And I was mad and angry at this person because of that stupidity mistake that was made. I have to live with not knowing whatever is going to happen, and when it does happen, I just already know that where it came from and how it came about was from this person not being faithful in a marriage. And that, I think, is the worst thing, is to break a vow in that way, to where somebody is not considerate of your other half, and you're transmitting a sexually transmitted disease to them. I would rather you or your significant other be honest with you to save you from a lifetime of what you have to endure. And that's the mystery. Okay, guys, my name is Becky Miller. Follow me along to find out what's going to happen to me next. Either way it goes, I am going to have surgery. If I have a tumor, to get that fixed. If I have to have this Cochlear, I think it's called. It's a two-part implant. It looks like a hearing aid. The other part they put right behind my ear, but it's under the skin in between the skull. So either way it goes, I gotta have a surgery. And this seems like a yearly thing. Just last year it was a meniscus repair and ACL repair. It's just ongoing. Okay, guys, until next time, follow my channel for the second part of this. Bye bye now.